Hi folks, welcome to Carl's Vaper Reviews once again. Welcome to the video. Review time again. This time it's another sub-ohm tank. Yes, I'm sorry, there's loads out. There's loads of them out. This time it's the Delta 2. This is from manufactured by Joyetech. I purchased this from a new vape shop in my area, Escape to Vaper. I'll put the links in the description, but I'll also put a splash screen up now for the new store. Now, the new store is situated, like I said, on the IMEX Business Park in Fenton, which is close to me, and it's run by Escape to Vaper. Is run by Christine, Jeet, and Philippe up at the store, and there's also a guy in there named Andy Duros, that does all the digital design for them and everything. Really good people. The web shop, like I said, Escape to Vaper, which is in the description link. They've been around for a while. A lot of people know them for their juice range, the E2V range of juices. They also in the store they've got they're stocking Zeus juice, this is Black Ester, which is like a black currant hull soother, and they also stock Element e-liquid as well, which they it's really good. They're stocking there. They're really good quality devices from SMY, Kanga, etc. Sub tanks, Segali, really good for a bricks and mortar store, and I just hope it takes off for them. And it's really good to have someone local like that you can that people can go down, have a hold of the devices, etc. I purchased last week as well an iStick 50 because I hadn't got one, never had one, and I take it to work now, and it's really good. Anyway, back to the review for the Joyetech. So that's how it comes packaged. We'll go down for reviews. I've got some. We'll go down close up. We'll go down for close ups, actually, should I say? Not going down for reviews. We'll go down for close ups. I'm just going to take the tank out now because I'm going to stick it on my SX Mini M class. I think it's in power mode. It is. So let's screw it onto my. I'm just going to screw it onto my M class. And it's in power mode, so open the airflow up. I've just got this at the moment. It's really 0.56 ohms. That coil is. It's in here, and I've just got it at 28 watts. I've got some high VG juice in here. I've got some 70-30 or high-ish VG juice. This is what is I've got in it? It's strawberry banana custard from Drip Drop Vaper. Now, what's the device first? Now, it's a 22mm sub-ohm atomizer made from stainless steel. Viewing windows on it as well. We'll go down for close-ups, like I say, but this is how it vapes at 28 watts. Stacks of vapor, stacks of vapor. I've got my thoughts about it. I held off purchasing one of these when it first come out, mainly through watching other reviews. Because I watch reviews. Although I do reviews, I still watch reviews because other better reviewers get their devices a lot quite a while before me. But the vape on it's pretty good, to be honest. I find it a little tad on the harsh side. I don't know what that is, whether it's a chimney or what, or the drip tip. I could probably do with changing the drip tip out, see if that makes it. Let's just change the drip tip out, because I'm used to like these wide bore drip tips. And this drip tip that comes with it, although it's wide-ish, it's not as wide as I like. I like something like that. Yeah, that's the drip tip. The drip tip makes it a little bit better for me because it's only a 3 milligram juice. This and I found it a little bit harsh in this tank compared to other sub-ohm tanks that I've got. Just a slight harshness on the back of the throat. But it's a 22mm device, like I said. It's made of stainless steel. Stainless steel drip tip with it's like a hybrid one. It's got like a dowel ring to it as well. It goes in the bottom, so it's like a dowel ring insert in the base. I would say that was there to keep the temperature down, but I find this drip tip heats up pretty much instantly if you're going over 30 watts with it. But yeah, it's we'll go down for close-ups now, and then we'll come back up and we'll have a talk about it and rate it. I'll rate it and see if I can recommend it to people. So we'll see you down at the table for close-ups. All right, guys, here we are down at the table with the close-up. This is how it comes in the box. We've got a explanation on the back, so I'll leave that there so you can pause the video. As you can see, the coil running range in watts is 25 to 50 watts, and this does come with, like I say, like it says at the bottom, with a changeable RBA section that you can buy as an optional extra. I haven't got one because I'm just reviewing this tank as it is, as it comes, without any options. So what we'll do is we'll take the lid off, and in the box you get a warranty card with a scratch and check on the back, authenticity, scratch and sniff thing, and then it comes with some instructions on priming the wick, etc., the parts list, and still no warnings about what devices to put these to. From a company as big as Joyetech, I would expect some warning on the back of the box or something like that, because obviously these are 0.5 ohm coils. So what we'll do is, first of all, we'll just take out and put that to one side. We'll take out one of the LVC coils. Now I'm going to go into manual focus for this, just so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Now this is 0.5 ohm LVC coils. Now these are £15, ranging 15 to 18 pounds. They are, let me just check on the website, I think they are £15 on Escape to Vaper as well. Shop, let me just check for you before we go on. Yeah, £15 they are on Escape to Vapor's website for a pack of 5 of these. Now, coil head up close. There's a gauze in there. You can just about make it out. It's quite a thin gauge gauze that covers the wick. And what we've got here is this knurling on the top aids you screwing it in, and then this knurling around the middle here is your knurling to alter the liquid valve control. I'll just show you better. As you can see, it closes up. By closing it up, it's for use, if you're using it closed up virtually like that, it's for use with the thinner e-liquids or your high PG e-liquids. If you open it right up, it enables you to use a higher VG liquid. On the atomizer itself, it's got, if you can see that there, I don't know if you can see, 25 to 40 watts, LVC 0.5, and then the Joyetech logo at the bottom here. O-ring, black O-ring at the top, and then your wide hole all the way through it for your airflow. Pretty big coils. It's one of the biggest coil setups I've seen actually for purchased pre-built bought coils from a manufacturer. They are pretty big, and there's always some idiot getting past in a car when I'm doing videos, or a bike or whatever. Anyway, that's the coil. And now the reason that I am showing you this coil is, the reason I didn't buy it as well in the first instance is because they use, from pictures and posts I've seen, they don't use organic cotton in this. They may use a bit of it around the external bit, but they're using this fibrous stuff, which I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. It's some sort of ceramic base wicking, but it breaks up. If you pull this coil apart and pull the stuff out, it breaks up in your fingers. So I'm not saying you can make a decision whether to buy it or not on that basis, but I'm just saying that this head and Joyetech's heads in general at the moment don't use Japanese organic cotton, and that's through my research. And if Joyetech want to tell me otherwise, please do so in the comments. But that's the coil head, guys. Now let's get the tank out. I'll show you the tank up close. What we've got here is a drip tip at the top, which is a stainless steel drip tip. Feels a bit more aluminium than stainless steel, but I think it's a thin bit of stainless steel, because there's a dowel insert that runs all the way up inside inside this. It's plastic inside, or plastic dowel ring. Single O-ring, does fit in really well, really tight. When you've washed it out and dried the O-ring off, you've got to wet it back up again to get the drip tip in, but it does fit other drip tips in as well. Here's a wide bore drip tip of mine, fits in nicely. Let's have a look what else we got. We've got another stainless steel one that fits in nice. So drip tips do fit in the slot nicely. Now what we've got at the bottom is a fixed 510, which looks like a silver plated to me. Does stick out, proud of the 510 threading, which is nice to see. And we've got slots, windows, 3 on each side for viewing your juice. Now I would like to have seen that to be more of a window rather than slots, because it is very hard to see your juice in this unless you're using a coloured liquid, you know, like a red or a liquid or anything. Most of the juices I have are in the main not coloured, so but that's you know, unless it's most of the juices that you see, you're not going to see them through these windows. You have to sort of tilt it and swash it about to see the levels. Now it has 2 major big Cyclops air slots on the bottom, and it also has some fine nailing on to aid you unscrewing the base, which we'll go unscrew in a minute. But these slots are fairly large. They're not the largest I've seen, but they are fairly large. They're fairly long, but they're not as wide and deep as some. If you're looking at, say, this is the Kanga Mini. Not as long a slot, but it's a lot wider. So possibly the same kind of draw, but obviously the Kanga Mini's only got the one on one side, where this is on both sides, that Cyclops. So it's quite airy, not as airy as some on the market. The Smart BCT Pro is the airiest I've tried so far, along with the Arctic. But what we'll do is, I've just got a bit of juice in, so I'm just go back into autofocus now for a sec. And just unscrew this off, because there has been juice in here. So let me just get this wiped. And that's how your coil sits in the base. You've got a translucent O-ring on here. Just go out here, let's come back into manual again. Okay, right, there you go. Got a translucent O-ring on the base here, so be careful when you're washing it that doesn't come off. And then all you do is you can unscrew the coil head, and then it sits in there like that. That's your contact point on the bottom here that makes contact with the 510 pin down the center there. And it's just a case of screwing it in like so. And if you alter, that is your liquid flow control. I've got it sort of not fully open at the moment. I've got it sort of 3/4 open. I'm using a 70/30, and it seems to be working fine 3/4 open. So right, this is the tank section. Does not come apart, which is a major negative for me. This top cap could have unscrewed somehow, so you could get the glass out from inside and clean it properly. It doesn't. Also, obviously, that's a negative for me. The other negative is filling this thing. You haven't got much space there either side of the chimney to fill this, and I can fill it okay with these type nibs, these little pointy nibs, but anything thicker than that or a dropper bottle, you're going to struggle filling this. Oh, it's going to take you a while, not being careful to get it down the big wide chimney there. And when you're filling it as well, because these windows are not great, you've got to wait for your juice level to come up to the top of the chimney. You've got to look inside there to make sure you don't overfill it. But you can't actually see it rising. Well, you can. It's a push through these windows, but these windows are not much good, to be honest, for viewing. There's three sets of windows around it, as you can see, but I would have liked them to have been opened up by taking these bars out. Would have probably made the tank look a bit better as well. But that's your tank. There's not much to say about it because I can't strip it down anyway. It's got Delta 2 written on it and Joyetech. So what I'll do is I'm going to fill it up now with some, I've got some 70/30 cookie dough. And you have to fill it up sort of down there like that. And with this dropper bottle, it's not too bad. If you've got bottles like this, it's not too bad. But if you've got juice with those glass droppers, you're going to struggle filling this. So you'd have to decant it into a needles bottle or something. So I'll just put a bit in, so I can see it in the windows. Hopefully I can see it. Yeah, I can just about see it in the windows. You won't make that out on camera, I don't think. I can there. You just see it in the windows there. So I mean, you can see it, but it's not a great design. Then what you do is you just put your base back on, put your drip tip on, and that's it. Away you go. It is a nice looking tank, though. I must admit, it is a nice looking tank. That's it, guys. We'll go back up, we'll have a vape on it, and we'll rate it and see if I can recommend it. Thanks, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome back up. I put it on my iStick 50 now, and I'm running it at 35 watts. You can see that. 35 watts. And that's putting out in volts, it'd be 4.5 volts. So 35 watts, 70/30, 3 milligram cookie dough in this Delta 2 with the 0.5 ohm LVC head. And it kicks out some, some vapor. Yeah, it kicks out some vapor, but I'm finding it whether it's the chimney or the makeup of the coil with the wicking material, etc. I find this 3 milligram, which I vape regularly, a little bit harsh on the back of the throat. Now, I don't get that from the VCT Pro. I don't get it from my Kangas. I don't get it from the Arctic. It's either something internally here with the design of the chimney or the drip tip maybe. It's a little bit better when I stick on my wider bore drip tip. Yeah, it's a little bit better when I stick on a wider bore drip tip than what this is, because that's the difference in the drip tips. It's getting all foggy again. You can't see that, can you now? Let me just show you that again. They are the two drip tips. See, that's the Joyetech. That's the one it comes with, and this is one I've got that I use regularly. On your normal size drip tips that come with other sub-ohm tanks are a little bit wider than the Joyetech one. This is the Joyetech. This is the Kanga. As you can see, it's a bit of a wider bore. So whether it's that or the wicking, I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I'm getting a little bit of a harsher throat tip from this 3mg. It's like not a dryness, but just a bit more of it. It's hard to describe really. It's like it's a higher nicotine strength than what it actually is. Flavour's good. Flavour's good. Still think the Smot VCT Pro is the best for flavour, vapour, and the whole overall package. And I've tried a lot of sub tanks, Kangas. You know, I've said before in the past when I've done sub-ohm tanks that the VCT Pro for me is the best tank that I've reviewed or tried. But I do like the style of the Delta when it's on a mod. That's it on the iStick 50. It looks pretty smart on there. It looks pretty nice. And like I said, I've showed you on my SX Mini as well. It looks pretty smart on this. I must admit, it does look smart with it being all stainless steel. It does look smart on that. I'm only at 28 watts. A little bit better, I think. About 30 watts I've been running this juice on with this Delta. Now, will I recommend it? Could I recommend it? Yeah, I could recommend it. Points to note on the negative side from what I've experienced from using this device. Number one is the wicking material in the coils. Still not sure what Joyetech are using in there. I'm led to believe, without stripping these coils down, that it's still that fibrous stuff inside. Whether it's the old Atlantis gate, Nautilus gate, or whatever it is, with the Aspire using that fibrous stuff as well. I think there is some cotton in there that around the outside, some cotton weave, but I think around the coil, I think it's still that fibrous stuff. If I'm wrong, Joyetech can comment on the video and put me right. But the taste and the little bit of a extra throat it I'm getting, it's reminiscent to when I used to use one of the Nautilus BBC coils, and I'm not getting the same flavour and smoothness of vape that I get from Japanese organic cotton. So that's one negative that for me personally, but you know, you can still go out and purchase this and make your own mind up on that. Number two negative is it doesn't strip down fully for cleaning. I like to strip my atomizers down fully for cleaning, clean the glass out, rinse everything out, and I can dry it out properly. With this, it's a case of running it under water and shaking the water out, but you'll still get droplets of water in there because you can't get down the side of the chimney with anything to sort of dry it out, unless you've got an air gun or something to sort of squirt in there to get some of the to get it, or use a hairdryer or something. The other negative for me is the filling. The filling around the sides. If you've got these type bottles, you'll be fine. If your juice collection consists of them glass dropper bottles, you're going to struggle putting it in this, to be honest. Why they haven't got a fill screw on the top or something, I don't know, or it's designed in a way that you can fill it a bit better. It needs a like the Limo 2, a side fill port at the top, you know, something like that. If it's an enclosed tank like this, the side fill port would be ideal. Because I call these enclosed tanks because you can't strip them down anyway. The only thing that comes off them is the base and the drip tip. The glass and the stainless steel are one. But apart from that, it's a good device. I like the look of it. It does vape well. It doesn't vape as well as my Smok VCT Pro, and it doesn't vape as well as any of the Kangas, and it doesn't vape as well as the Arctic. It doesn't, you know, I've tried a few. I've got a few as well. Crown, Ewell. It's at the. I would say, for me personally, it's at the bottom of all them. Because I love my Kangas, as people know. I love my Kanga sub tanks. The Arctic, that's fine as well. That's great. But the VCT Pro for me is the winner of sub-ohm tanks that I've reviewed and tried. I haven't tried every sub-ohm tank, so you know I'm only comparing it to what I've got and used in the past. But I do like the looks of it as well. It looks great on any of the devices I've got. Have another vape. You know, it kicks out. I'm going to try and rebuild this as well. I've seen a few videos of rebuilding these LVC coils. I'm going to try and rebuild it with some NI200s to use on my SX Mini. Because someone on one of the reviews said that the LVC heads, once you've rebuilt them, are better than the RBA base. I don't know because I haven't tried the RBA base for this, and I don't think I'll be buying it from what I've read and heard up and researched on it. But the tank is a recommendation for me because it does vape. It vapes well, not as well as other stuff, but there is them few little niggles that you can make your own mind up on whether you can get around them or not. But thanks to Escape to Vaper for providing me good service at the store when I popped up in last week. And like I said, if anybody's local to Stoke-on-Trent, pop down there. You'll get good service from either Philip or Christine or Jeet. Get well soon, Jeet. He's got a bad back, the lad has. He'll be in there shortly, or Andy, who works in there from time to time as well. Thanks, guys, for watching. All my links are on the YouTube video, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And you'll catch me on the AAEC forum where I put all my videos, where Richo71 is the avatar. And like I said, thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in my next review.